Welcome back to the Retire with Confidence podcast. Before we get started, I want to let everybody know that this episode is sponsored by CWOs for Hire, which is actually our financial planning firm. If you listened to our previous episode, we mentioned that we do have some openings from now till mid-February for new clients. So if you're looking for help with your retirement planning, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can either call or go directly to our website and book a meeting time through there. We're happy to talk with you and get you on the right path and possibly even work with you more long term. Also, before we get started, if you could give us a rating in the app if you've been listening to us for a while and found a lot of value in what we provide in terms of helping with your retirement planning and retiring with confidence. Please do give us a rating because it helps spread the message and gets more of this good information to all the people out there who need help. Today, I want to talk about doing hard things in retirement specifically. Oftentimes, and this is perfectly normal, we tend to look for comfort. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Things like camping can be awesome for a little while if you're into that thing. But we also often like to have roofs over our heads and electricity and running water and air conditioning, all those things that are there for our comfort that we have developed over time as a society. There's nothing wrong at all with wanting to be comfortable, and especially nothing wrong at all with wanting to relax in retirement. I challenge you to do some hard things, though, because of the impact that it can have on you and your retirement for the long term. I'll give you an example of something that I have been doing recently, because part of this is that we are doing this voluntarily. Oftentimes, hard things come our way that we don't want or that we have to do. So we all can fall on bad times in our lives that are difficult for sure. But also we can be working in a job and that can produce some hard things that we have to get through. When we look more towards retirement, even if we're not retired yet, we still want to be developing the habit of doing hard things periodically to keep both our mind and our body prepared for the harder things that we will experience as we get older and continue to age. So my example is that I just finished doing what's called a 75 hard. Now this is a program developed, it was actually developed out of somebody who's in St. Louis, which I didn't even know until about a day before I started. But the program is for 75 days straight. You have to exercise twice a day, once being outside. You have to follow a diet plan. It's not specific, but you need to follow something and stick with it. You have to drink a gallon of water. You have to read 10 pages of nonfiction and no alcohol of any kind allowed. And you also have to take progress pictures. Now, I'm not suggesting that everybody go out and do this. That's not the point of this. I'm using this as an example because it was really hard. And I think one of the surprising things is that a lot of people thought that I would be miserable going through it. It actually wasn't the case at all. It was hard, it was challenging, you kind of get tired of it. But I was not miserable. In fact, I felt great. I actually felt worse when I started to come off of it and didn't have those good habits to follow through on a regular basis. Now, I still kept a lot of the habits, but it's still kind of a transition to back off of those really healthy and positive habits. I bring this up because it doesn't only have good physical benefits, which helped, but it also trains your brain. And that goes for no matter what you do that is difficult. It's going to rewire your brain in a positive way. That's really the goal. When you're used to doing hard things, not all the time, not burning yourself into the ground, that's not the point. But selectively doing hard things periodically over time, it trains your brain not to worry if hard things come your way. And it also trains your brain how to handle that. For example, if you're a runner and you're used to running, 6 miles, no big deal. We'll go run 6 miles, no problem. If somebody then says, okay, today you need to run 2 or 3 miles, that's not really a big deal. You're used to 6 or 7 or whatever. 2 or 3 is a nice little jog because you've built up that habit of doing something difficult. The key is there's no specific measure of what hard is to you. For somebody, hard might be training for a marathon. Somebody else hard might be walking a mile. Both are totally fine for wherever you are at. The key is that you are doing something hard for you, and it doesn't have to be something physically demanding either. So you can be running a marathon, you can be lifting heavy weights, but you could also be learning a musical instrument or a new language. Whatever hard means to you, I encourage you to step outside your comfort zone a little bit. Still enjoy retirement for sure, but do something a little bit challenging out of your comfort zone. It might even be a little bit painful in a good way. Please don't hurt yourself, but it might be a little bit painful. But in the long term, your brain's going to thank you, your body's going to thank you. And it's actually going to make your life much easier as you continue to progress in life and into an older age if you have trained your body and also your mind to handle these hard things. So I encourage everyone, even if just for the next month, try it. Find something that's really challenging for you and get after it. I think at the end of that month, you'll find that it wasn't painful at all. In fact, you enjoy it and you want to do more and you want to continue those good habits and that learning and that continuing to do something challenging all throughout retirement for as long as you can.